How are you doing, guys? So I hit up some garage sales today and I got some scores. On the left, I believe it's an axe sharpener. It's got a 24.5-inch diameter stone, and it's mounted to wooden planks, and it has a metal base. That's all there is. There is no foot pedal or hand crank with it, but I got it really cheap, and I'm going to figure out something with it, whether on a fabricated crank or a foot pedal or something to that extent. But for now, the game plan is to do rust removal and to clean it up. But it does spin freely, and it almost looks like those are ball bearings. I thought they might have been brass bearings, but so we got that, next to nothing. Also, this barrel I picked up, and I'm not sure, I might use that as a garbage can for inside the garage. It was dirt cheap. It's got some damage on the top, obviously, and this ring goes somewhere on the bottom, I think right here where that line is. So the owner had originally was using it as a table base. He had a tabletop on it, and so alright, so I got some tools, and I'll swing this over, and I'm going to angle it down a hair. Bear with me. Maybe not. Alright, so I'll just go through and show you real quick what I got. Okay, so this is the Dremel MotoFlex tool. It's got the stand, and basically it's Dremel with a wand, and it does work. It's got the wand, and you can obviously put different bits on the end of that. And this is older, I'm not sure the year, but what I like is that it's got the box, and I'll show you real quick. You get a kick out of this. Alright. So this is USA made, obviously. This is model 232. It's got a 25,000 RPM motor. And this will be great for hard to reach places. Excuse me. Now, the original price tag says $78.99. It's from a store called Switz's. Switz's was a large store here in Syracuse years back, and I remember them for their Halloween stuff. They had this huge, I mean, it must be 30 foot tall, this huge monster. It was a robotic mechanical monster, and it made noise and everything, moved around. But this has all the original paperwork with it. So it's got the order form for different accessories. This is kind of funny. They have an offer for a shirt and cap. That looks like the 80s. But check out that hat, huh? Perfectly flat brim. So you can get the adult and children's shirts, the baseball cap, or the adult football jersey. So yeah, we got that. It's got a registration paperwork, and they give you a diagram, which I found kind of cool. I mean, you don't get this, and you definitely don't get this in tools nowadays. It's got part numbers and whatnot for any part that you might need. So, and you see it says on the bottom, it says write for current prices. Do you think that you would write them a letter now? No, you'd email or you'd call them. But pretty cool. So everything, I'm going to show you everything that I got with that grinding stone. The grinding stone and everything I'm showing you now was from one person. The barrel was from a whole different person. So we got that Dremel there, and we got this. This is a Sears Craftsman, and it's actually a chain sharpening tool. This is 30,000 RPMs. And this does work as well. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it looks like a standard. I'm not sure if the only special part of this is this unit here that's attached to the end. I'm pretty sure I could take that off and it would be just a standard Dremel. And I already have this Dremel. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. So I got that as well. The guy had probably 5 other Dremel tools. But not everything was for sale here, so I had to kind of get what I could. Ever since I started doing that old fan for a friend of a friend, I've been into the older fans. Well, you saw the ones I picked up the other day. This is a little mini fan, and it's got a steel base. And it's by Bursted Manufacturing Company, and it's model 1250. This is out of Ontario, Canada. So it's just a little, she's got the little slot you can mount it on the wall. It's got an oil port there. But it's got a little bit of bendage on the grill, no problem. All right, moving right along. I got 5 more oiler cans. This is a Plews. I believe I have this particular model, at least one of them, maybe 2. It's a Globemaster. And this thing squirts. I mean, this is like a super soaker. You squeeze the trigger and it goes flying. So, gotta be careful when you use this one. But, there's 2. And another Plews. This one has the adjustable spout. This is Gem. This is manufactured by Gem, and I believe they're a branch of Plews as well. I have a couple of Gem oilers inside. So then we got this little baby one. It's got to be 1.5 inches. And I believe it has some writing, but it's covered in grease. So, got those. Goes right with the collection. Couple of WD-40s. I grab these whenever I can. One's full and one is about half full, but you know, I throw them in whenever I can find them. I grab them because this stuff's so expensive at the store. And I like these oiler cans too, and I've got a little collection going. The small tins. This was 79 cents back when this was sold. And the 4-ounce can. It's got about a quarter left. And I got 2 cans of Vantrol anti-rust precision oil, and they're about half full each. So, all right, let's see what we got here. So, I grabbed 4 torch tips. I pick these up whenever I find them at garage sales, cheap enough. Benzomatics and okay. Then picked up another saw. Again, these trigger gun-shaped saws I'm really into. Not sure if that wing nut is original, and this doesn't have any maker marks on it, which is strange. But I have to imagine it's American made. So it needs some cleanup for sure. And the original paint was gray and red two-tone. It's kind of nice. And I just grabbed this old brush. Just because, you know, I'm always brushing stuff off. This is, I'm not sure if it's horsehair or not, but it's decent. I like the shape of it. Definitely has a nice shape. So, got that for sweeping off the bench. Four screwdrivers. I'm usually only picking up Snap-on Mac, Klein. So, you know, I got the, this is M. Klein and Sons. So the Sons part is kind of, I guess, not as common. Just a Craftsman flat tip. We have two Snap-on Phillips. The orange one is a number 2, and this is a red. It's hard to, looks kind of orangish, but that's a red, and that's a number 1 Phillips. Okay. 4 mini C-clamps to go in the collection. They'll have to be cleaned up first. Then Stanley 28-109, USA made, and this is a utility knife, and it's got this wheel that spins to lock the blade in. It's got several different blades in the handle, different shapes and styles, and it also takes these gouging blades. So there's a few of them with it, but they don't fit in the unit. The wheel appears to be plastic, and the housing is metal, as much as it might look like plastic on camera. Okay, so got a 1/2-inch drive Mustang MS-43 ratchet, USA made. This is my first Mustang piece. And it came with a set of sockets. It's a 6 1/2-inch drive sockets and 6 3/8 drive. And there's an adapter, 1/2-inch to 3/8 adapter. And what's nice about this is it sounds like it's a really fine tooth count. I doubt you can pick that up, but barely even a turn and it clicks. So very smooth, very fine tooth sounding. So I got some homework on this. I've never heard of, I mean, I've seen Mustang Allen wrench sets, but I think they're gimmicky and they're new, just cheap, you know, just cheap stuff. But this is definitely older, I can tell. I'm not sure if it's any affiliation with the car or not. I hope not. Nothing against Mustangs, I just would rather this be a independent brand. So I got that set. Tube of solder. And then we got a Sterling number 2. I think it's a number 1, but I have the smaller version of this in the house. This is a nice little bicycle wrench. And these clean up nice, very smooth. This is in good shape. It's got some patina. I don't see much pitting, if any at all. So we'll see how it turns out when it's cleaned up. Okay, then picked up this curved adjustable wrench. This is a 12-inch. number 82, and out of Buffalo, New York. Buffalo is 2 hours west of Syracuse, 2 hours west of me. This is by Westcott. I'm sorry, Keystone Manufacturing Company and Westcott. I'm not sure which one would take dominance, but this is very smooth. I have another curved handled wrench, and it's different brand altogether, but this is kind of, see, it's got the dimpling on the ends there. I'm pretty sure the other one I have doesn't have the dimpling, but it's got pretty smooth movement. That might be the end there, but that's a good, sheesh, that's a good 1.5 inches anyway. So, and that looks like it's welded in there, that pin. Not sure if taking this apart is going to be an option, but I'll clean it up in any event. So, pretty nice wrench. Alright. And the last thing I grabbed from this feller was this. Now look at this. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. I'm pretty stable. I'm not insane or anything, but I do have a kind of a liking for knives and I guess weaponry in general. This is definitely going to be a display piece. I don't have any issues or situations where I would have to use this. You know, unless you touch my tools, then I'm going to use this. No, but anyways, wooden handle. It's got a leather wrapped grip. It's got a chain here, I guess, for hanging purposes. It's probably 16 inches for the handle. It's got a steel cap on the wooden handle with an eye hook and a larger chain and 2 of these medieval death balls. So, I mean, look at that. Can you imagine? I mean, just can you imagine what this would do to a person if you? They wouldn't be alive. I mean, you would viciously damage somebody if you swung this at any part of their body, without a doubt. But it's cool nonetheless, right? So I'll hang that up somewhere. So, anyways, I stopped at a sale. I was gone for about 6 hours today, and every time I turned to go home, on the way home there was a new garage sale just around every corner. So I kept stopping. You know, I can't help myself. So I stopped at a garage sale, and it was an elderly woman and 2 of whom I would assume to be her granddaughters, and she was super nice. She gave me a socket set. They're Japanese sockets, but I wanted the metal tin they were in. She didn't charge me. She just told me to take it. Super nice family, and these gloves belong to her husband, who I believe to be deceased. He was a welder, and they are really nice. They're worn in, especially this pair, but I got them for welding. Flux core welding can get pretty messy and a lot of heat. So this lighter set is really nice. It's got the straps to adjust the wrist. It's got a ton of material. These are heavy-duty cowhide, made by Illinois Glove Company. Huh. But what's weird is it says size 5. So, you got me, but they're nice. They're definitely, I guess they're on the stiff side, but they're still usable. And the pattern, the cut pattern for the fabric is kind of strange. And they have kind of a smooth grain and then kind of a, but they were, she wanted $2 a piece for the gloves. And I wasn't going to haggle with her. I believe they're worth that. I mean, you go try to find a nice set of welding gloves, you're spending 20 bucks. So I picked up those. All right, so I stopped at another garage sale, and of course I was a day late and $1 short, as usual. They had an ad on Craigslist, and it was the ad. I mean, I was foaming at the gills when I read the ad, but it said house, estate, garage sale, tools, drill press, lathe, tons of tools, Carhartt. So I showed up. The Carhartt was gone. Unfortunately, it's my favorite brand, and there was a lot of tools gone. There wasn't much left. They had some crappy plastic house power tools and that they wanted $30 each for, which is insane. They had a drill doctor set up, and they wanted $45 for it. I know, I couldn't help but laugh, but I grabbed a few things, a few hand tools, and I paid $5 total for everything I'm going to show you here. I also got a North Face jacket, hooded jacket, navy blue and gray, two-tone. New. It was never worn. Didn't have tags, but it was new, never worn. And got that for $5 extra. So I spent a total of 10. And I'll show you what I got. So this, I'm not sure what it is. It might be one of those multi-cutter tools. I'm pretty sure it's a piece of garbage. It's Rockwell, but it's the new Rockwell, but it's the Sonicrafter F50, and it's got a variable speed dial there and some kind of hyper lock. Let's see if I can show you the logo here. Made in China, of course. 4 amp. And I really don't know. It's got kind of a, I just don't know. So obviously it does something. It looks like there's 2 LED lights on either side. I mean, this thing just looks like, you know, a piece of junk. So, but I grabbed it nonetheless. If nothing else, I'll take the cord off it and use it on a different tool if it turns out to be a worthless tool. But this newer stuff, I'm just not a fan of it. You know, it's just no good. So then I got a little bit of a collection going of these bottle jacks, and a lot of them are anything to write home about. I do have a nice Simplex one that you've seen, but this is just a bottle jack, and it looks like possibly a 6-inch. I can't make out any maker marks. I haven't really looked that hard, of course. And standard bottle jack. It's got the lever with it, which is cool. A lot of them don't. So I got a couple of other ones of these on deck that I'm going to clean up. So I'm going to clean up all these that I have and paint them and just kind of keep them kicking around. Just something to look at. Anything mechanical, tool related, I like it. And I want to be surrounded by it. But I don't think this is anything good. My bet is it's Taiwanese. Anyways. Couple of brushes. This little hand brush, these are good for getting inside round holes and, you know, hard to reach areas. And then a Bowman 21585, and I have another one like this, and it's super handy for the bench. So I pick up these decent brushes when I find them, just so I have them. At this point, I got a whole bucket of brushes, and not going to stop there. They wanted 50 cents. I paid $5 for everything, but I threw these in, just a pair of gloves, grip gloves. We got, this is good size. Now I had a Starrett one, and I think this might be Starrett as well, but we're gonna find out. I gotta clean it up because I can't quite make out the maker mark. So nothing special. I just kind of threw together some stuff. I grabbed anything that was decent. Got these little mini KD pliers. I got a proto set, and I think I got a couple of the mini set pliers like this, and yeah, so grab them. Alrighty. Channel lock, I'm a fan of them. I got the Channel Lock 437 wire cutters, minus the grips. Although I don't know that these ever had grips. Can you see that? The marking on the handles. So cutting edges are decent. There's no nicks or anything in them, so these should clean up nice. I got a couple of these old pieces here. I think they're Stanleys. Seen better days. Definitely needed cleaning. But, you know, for next to nothing, I just figured what the hey. So this opens up, obviously, and swings out. That'll swing out, and you can lock it in any position you want. And it's got little brass pieces in it. Cool. Alrighty. Got a pile of Nicholson files for my file wall. These are all fairly decent, sharp. Then a couple of Craftsman drivers. Got a small eighth inch flat tip, and this is the multi-bit driver, and this typically came in the socket sets with the plastic cases. So I don't know that I have another one of these, so I grabbed it, threw it in the pile. Last but not least, from this particular garage sale and the $5 tool pile, 2 6-inch adjustable wrenches. This is the super adjustable J.H. Williams and Company. And this other one is a 6-inch Williams AB6X, and that must be newer. So 2 Williams wrenches. I actually used one of these when I took apart that grinding deal there. And then the last piece that I grabbed today, this was from, I stopped at a sale, and the only thing that I saw that I wanted were these. They were $1. They're Klein cable cutters and crimpers. You know, Klein pliers and linemen's and whatnot, they're $30, $40 each. So if I find them, I grab them. And the grips are in good shape. They will, usually I can get these right off. You just kind of work at them and pop the grips off, clean them all up, and throw them in the electrician bag I have. There was a garage sale, and the guy had a Klein pouch, leather pouch, and I regret not buying it. He wanted $10. I wanted to give him $5, but it was a nice older leather pouch, rugged, firm, wasn't floppy or anything. So, so I regret not getting that. Oh, let me show you one last thing here. I also got this. It's a brass coat rack. I'm going to angle this backward. See that there in front of the grinder? That's a brass coat rack. It's all brass, metal, nice piece. So I got that at the grinding stone and the bucket of tools from that particular guy. So that's it. I'm gonna get to work taking apart this grinding get up. Want to get that going as soon as possible and start processing the hand tools. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and more to come obviously in the future. Thanks. Take care.